There is something very strange about dogs. They do not need to speak, do not need to bark, and sometimes they only need to lie quietly in the corner of the room, yet you still feel that they love you in a very clear way. And if you have ever thought that a dog only shows affection when it wags its tail, licks your hand, or runs to greet you, then perhaps you have only seen the surface. Because the truth is, the deepest signs of a dog's love are often the quietest ones. And in this video, we are going to talk about the ways dogs love humans without making a single sound, and why sometimes, that silent love is far more sincere than what people say to each other every day. I think the reason so many people love dogs is not just because they are cute. It is because dogs have a very special way of loving. They do not love through promises. They do not love through fancy words. They do not try to prove themselves through complicated things. They are simply there. Watching you. Staying with you. Choosing you, again and again. And what is interesting is that the longer you live close to dogs, the more you realize, barking is not their only language. In fact, most of a dog's affection is expressed through its body, its eyes, distance, waiting, and silence. To me, that is what makes a dog's love so different. It is not loud, but it is certain. We often judge affection by obvious expressions. Whoever talks more seems to care more. Whoever shows more intensity seems to love more. But with dogs, it is the opposite. Very often, when a dog loves you, what it does is not try to attract attention, but quietly place its attention on you. It looks at you longer. It lies closer to you. It follows you from room to room. It breathes more gently when it is beside you. It sleeps more peacefully when it knows you are home. At first glance, all of these things may seem very small. But in truth, they are an extremely clear emotional language, if you know how to read it. In this video, I want to go deeper into those silent signs. Not only so that you can understand dogs better, but also so that you can realize something beautiful. Sometimes love is not something that needs to be said loudly. It only needs to be shown consistently. Part 1. Dogs show love by staying close to you. One of the clearest ways dogs show love without barking is by choosing to stay near you. It sounds simple. But if you pay close attention, you will see that this is a very meaningful choice. Dogs do not stay close to everyone in the same way. With some people, they are friendly. With some people, they are polite. With some people, they are playful. But the person they are truly bonded to is usually the one they naturally seek out, even when there is no food, no toy, and no one calling them. They just want to be near. Maybe it is lying at your feet while you work. Maybe it is curling up by the bathroom door waiting for you. Maybe it is changing where it lies down just so it can still keep you in sight. Many people think that is clinginess. I think differently. I think it is the way a living creature says, "You do not need to do anything. I just want to be here with you." And honestly, in the human world, very few people give others that feeling. No demands. No disturbance. No need for constant interaction. Just a quiet presence, but one that is deeply attached. Some dogs do not even touch you. They simply lie a small distance away. But that very distance shows respect and trust. It is as if they are saying, "I do not need to take all of your attention. I only need to know that I am allowed to be here, near you." To me, this is one of the most subtle expressions of a dog's affection. Part 2. The silent gaze, the way dogs look at the ones they love. If you have ever caught your dog simply sitting there, looking at you for a long time, very quietly, then you may already have experienced one of the most affectionate moments a dog can offer a human being. A dog's eyes are very special. They are not like a cautious stare. Not like the look of curiosity. And not like the look of waiting for food. There is a kind of look that is very soft. Very slow. Very calm. A look that carries almost no pressure at all. That is the look of connection. A dog that loves you does not only look at you to understand what you are doing, it also looks at you to sense how you are feeling. When you are happy, it relaxes more easily. When you are sad, it looks at you more. When you are tired, it is often quieter than usual. I have always found this deeply moving, because dogs do not understand human language the way we understand each other. But they can read energy, rhythm, facial expressions, breathing, and even very small changes in mood. Sometimes, we do not say whether we are okay or not. But dogs know. And perhaps that is why so many people say, dogs understand me in a way that requires no explanation. Personally, I believe that a dog's gaze is a form of absolute honesty. A dog does not pretend to love you with its eyes. It does not perform. If it looks at you with gentleness, it means that in its world, you truly matter. Part 3. When dogs follow you around the house, it is not just a habit. Another sign that many people see every day but do not really notice, is when a dog follows you everywhere. You go into the kitchen, it follows. You walk to the door, it gets up.
Good boy.
You change rooms, it changes places. You sit down, and a few minutes later it appears too. Many people jokingly call this your second tail. But in many cases, it is actually a sign of deep attachment. Dogs are pack animals. For them, staying connected to an important individual is something very natural. When a dog follows you regularly, it does not only show curiosity, it also shows that you are an anchor point in its world. You are the person it wants to know the location of. You are the person it wants to synchronize its rhythm of life with. You are the person whose disappearance makes it lift its head to check. I find this beautiful, because it feels like a very instinctive form of love. Not loud. Not showy. Just. If you are there, I want to know. If you move, I want to follow. If you sit down, I want to be somewhere near you. That is love in the form of habit. And sometimes, the things that become habits are the truest things of all. Part 4. Dogs show love through relaxation when they are beside you. There is one expression of love that I think very few people notice: relaxation. A dog only truly relaxes when it feels safe. So when a dog lies on its side beside you, lets its body go loose, its belly rising and falling gently, its eyes half closed, breathing steadily, that is not just rest. That is the dog speaking through its body. I trust this place. I trust this moment. And I trust the person beside me. Trust is a very deep form of love. A dog cannot pretend to be fully relaxed if it is still on guard. Real relaxation is a response that comes from an inner sense of safety. And when you become part of that sense of safety, it means you have become a very important part of its emotional world. I have always thought this is one of the most beautiful love confessions a dog can make. Not running around. Not overexcitement. Not performing happiness. But the ability to sleep peacefully beside you. It sounds small, but think about it. In life, how many people truly make us relax completely? How many people are there whose mere presence makes our bodies feel less tense? It is the same for dogs. When a dog sleeps well beside you, it is not just resting. It is trusting you. And love without trust has never been complete love. Part 5. The gentle touch, a very quiet signal of love. Not every dog licks your face or jumps on you. Some are very calm, very gentle. But they still have their own ways of touching you. A head resting on your leg. A paw lightly placed on your hand. A soft lean of the shoulder when you sit down. A brief press of the back against your leg before lying still. These are small gestures, but they are deeply meaningful. For dogs, touch is a way of connecting. It is like confirming your presence, while at the same time sending a signal that they want to connect with you in that moment. What feels special to me is that these touches are usually very brief, very natural, never forced. They come and go. But they are enough to make you feel something warm. As if they do not need to say, "I love you." They only need one gentle touch, and you understand. Personally, I really love this kind of affection, because it is not loud. It does not try to move you emotionally. But the more you remember it, the deeper it feels. It is the kind of love that later, when a dog is no longer beside you, what you remember is often not its bark, but the familiar feeling of its head once resting on your leg. Part 6. Dogs sense your emotions and adjust their behavior. One very big sign of love that is often overlooked is this: dogs change the way they behave according to your emotions. When you are sad, some dogs will not jump around the way they usually do. They come closer. They become quieter. They sit beside you longer. Or they simply lie nearby as if keeping watch. This is something I find truly astonishing. Dogs do not need to understand exactly what happened. They do not need to know that you just failed, had an argument, suffered a loss, or had a terrible day. But very often they can sense it before you even say anything. And instead of giving advice, they simply stay. I think this is one of the things humans can learn from dogs: love does not always need a solution. Sometimes what someone needs most is simply a presence without judgment. A dog sitting beside you when you are exhausted is actually doing much more than we realize. It is saying, "I cannot fix your sadness, but I will not let you be sad alone." And honestly, that is a very rare kind of love. Part 7. A dog's strange gift: sharing what it treasures. There is one behavior that many people find funny. Dogs carry a toy, a bone, a sock, a ball, or even something very strange, and place it near you. At first glance, it may just look like mischief. But in many cases, this is a form of sharing. Dogs do not understand the concept of gifts the way humans do, but they do understand what matters to them. And when they bring that thing close to you, sometimes it is their way of bringing you into their world. As if to say, "This is something I like. And I want to share it with you."
Here, for you.
I think this is very adorable, because it is childlike. Not complicated. Not calculated. Just a simple desire to give someone they care about a piece of their joy. Sometimes the gift is ridiculous.
Oh, thank you.
But the feeling behind it is not ridiculous at all. Part 8. Dogs respect your presence even when there is no interaction. This is the point I really want to emphasize. Dogs do not always show love through actions directed straight at you. Sometimes their love is simply about existing alongside you. You read a book, and the dog lies nearby. You work, and it sleeps beside you. You watch a movie, and it breathes steadily on the floor. No interaction. No game. No calling. But it still chooses to share that space with you. To me, this is a very mature level of attachment. Because when a living creature does not need you to constantly pay attention to it, but still wants to be with you, that shows the bond has become deep enough that it no longer needs constant proof. It is like there is already an unspoken sense of reassurance between the two of you. We do not need to do anything special. Just being here is enough. Humans sometimes find it very hard to reach that feeling with one another. We often need verbal reassurance, feedback, confirmation. But dogs often only need presence. And it is that steady presence that makes their love feel so pure. Waiting is a sad word, but it is also a beautiful one. And dogs are one of the few beings that make humans clearly feel the meaning of being awaited. Many dogs have a habit of lying near the door, sitting in the hallway, gazing toward the gate, or becoming more alert at exactly the time you usually come home. They do not need to bark to say that they miss you. They just wait. To me, this is one of the most moving proofs of love. Because waiting always contains hope. It means that in the mind of some living creature, your return is something worth longing for. Think about that for a moment. In the fast pace of life, there is a creature that truly cares about the moment you appear. There is a creature whose day feels more complete when you come home. Not because you are perfect. Not because you are rich. Not because you are always cheerful. But simply because you are you. I think many people love dogs because of that feeling. The feeling of being awaited by someone, completely unconditionally. If you look back at all the ways dogs show love without barking, you will notice one common pattern. A dog's love is not found in noise. It is found in presence, attention, trust, companionship, and loyalty, repeated day after day. They do not say much, but they do things consistently. And perhaps that is why a dog's love touches people so deeply. Because deep down, everyone wants to be loved in a way that is steady, kind, and unconditional. Personally, I think dogs move us not only because they love us, but because they remind us what love is supposed to look like. It does not always have to be grand. It does not always have to sound right. It does not always have to be displayed. Sometimes, love is simply
my hand,
staying, watching, waiting, and choosing one person every day. It sounds simple, but to love the way dogs do, is sometimes very hard for humans. So next time, if your dog does not bark, does not cling to you too much, does not do anything impressive at all, try looking more closely. Maybe it is loving you in the deepest way it knows. With a quiet gaze. With peaceful sleep beside you. By following you through every room. With a very gentle touch. By waiting at the door. And with a presence that asks for nothing. Maybe that is the most beautiful thing about dogs. They do not need to say their love for you in order for you to feel it. Because sometimes, the truest feelings in the world, have always been very quiet. If you have ever had a dog love you in such a quiet way, leave some kind of sign in the comments. I would really love to know what moment made you realize, a dog can truly love a human being more deeply than we imagine. And if you enjoy content like this, follow the channel. There are many more stories about animals, emotions, and the small things that touch us deeply even though we so often overlook them every day.